بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. نواصل على Chapter 4 اللي هو Multiple Linear Regression. So if you look at this plot, okay, في هذه البلوت شنو بنشوف إنه موجود عندي هني at the middle, okay, you can find the zero and you can find here something called critical value. شنو هما critical values؟ قلنا values that we take them from the tables. So these are the values from the tables. Okay, then here will be the what? The rejection region. Okay, فإذا something called critical values. هاي الكريتيكال values هي اللي تحدد لي الكريتيكال region أو rejection region اللي هي المنطقة الحرجة، منطقة الرفض. Okay, so here you will reject at this point اللي هي في rejection region, and here you will reject. Okay, and here do not reject. Do not reject طبعا كله إلى نتكلم عن ال H not. Okay, so if you see here at this plot also, okay, you have something called decision about H naught and reality about H naught. إذن هذا شنو؟ هذا القرار اللي يتخذه الإحصائي، okay، اللي قاعد أو الريسيرشر اللي يسوي الريسيرش. But this is the what? Is the real حق شنو؟ حق ال H naught اللي هو الحقيقة. Okay, so you have the decision and you have the reality. Then when you reject, okay، لما اتخذ قرار الرفض بينما الحقيقة true، يعني شنو؟ يعني I have H naught. Okay, I am working on H naught. I reject H naught but H naught is true. ال H naught حقيقية بس أنا رفضتها. Okay, so I will face something called type 1 error. Type 1 error means what? Means wrong rejection. Wrong rejection اللي هو القرار خاطئ. Or you can call it reject true H naught. Okay, you reject true H naught, so you make wrong rejection. Okay, and if you reject, okay, if you reject a false H naught, okay, the H naught already خاطئة and you reject it, so you make it شنو true. فإذا القرار صائب. Okay, good decision. Then if you not reject a true H naught, so if that H naught is good and you do not reject it, so you make good decision. Okay, you make good decision. But if the H naught is false and you not reject it, so you not reject a false H naught, so you accept it. That means you not reject it, you take this H naught but it is false, so you make also something called wrong acceptance. Wrong acceptance. So this will be شنو؟ هنا كان قراري خاطئ. اوكي، الرفض خاطئ، هني قبول شنو؟ قبول خاطئ، أنا قبلت شيء خطأ. Okay, so it will be a wrong acceptance. So this calls accept wrong H naught. They reject true H naught but they accept شنو؟ wrong H naught. So we have شنو؟ we have two types of errors. We have what? We have two types of errors. So when we call the level of significance, we call it alpha. This alpha is the type 1 error. So this one will be type 1 error. Okay, this will be type 1 error. If we reject a true H naught, okay, so it will be شنو type 1 error. But if you probability of accept okay it's not بتكون false, that mean you will face probability of type 2 error. That mean you will face what? You will face beta. You will face beta. So this acceptance means not reject. Not what? Not reject. So you have alpha and you have شنو? beta. So alpha it is type 1 error, beta it is type 2 error. طبعا هذه الألفا اللي نستخدمها في level of significance اللي هي اللي نتخذها في كل المسائل. Okay, then when conducting a single test, okay, when you conducting a single t test, the each note will be parameter equal to 0. So each one will be شنو? will be parameter not equal to 0, right? So the probability of type 1 error is given by the probability reject each note البارامتر equal to 0. okay, علما بأن البارامتر شنو equal to 0. that's called what? alpha. okay, يعني شنو؟ يعني أنا لما أسوي reject إلى ال each note okay معناتها أن أنا رفضت البارامتر equal to 0 اللي هي هذه الديسيشن. اوكي رفضته علما بأن الحقيقة هي parameter equal to 0. so this means okay alpha. this mean what? alpha. okay, yes, then you go when conducting a multiple t-tests on all model parameters, so when you test h naught b equal to 0, c equal to 0, d equal to 0, you make t-test okay for all the parameters كحقهم كامل. the probability of overall type 1 error is given by reject at least one of the hypotheses يعني برفض بس واحدة okay على الأقل. so okay it will be what? it will be b equal to 0, c equal to 0, d equal to 0. علما يعني أنا ممكن أرفض واحدة من دلين okay علما بأنهم كلهم يساوون شنو؟ to 0. to what? to 0. اوكي فاذا التايب 1 ايرور شلون بيصير لما اني اروح اسوي تي تيست حق كل البارامتر؟ بقول هني مو كتبت ان البارامتر تساوي 0 الحقيقه سوري الفرضيه تقول هذه الفرضيه اوكي but I reject this when the true is this. ولما الترو تكون شنو؟ تكون ترى هي اوكي هي 0 بس انت رفضتها اوكي. this means the value will be greater than alpha. Here it is equal than alpha, but here when you make the test for all the model parameters it will be greater than 0. so you will write here يعني شنو؟ لما أسوي الاختبار مرة واحدة البي شنو على البارامتر equal to 0 like here okay so it will be equal to شنو to alpha. فهني لما أسوي الاختبار مرة واحدة بس على one parameter إن البارامتر equal to 0 بصير عندي الجواب شنو alpha. but اوكي لما أقوم أختبر البارامتر كواحد اوكي فيزيد ويتضاعف ويصير greater than شنو than alpha. okay here you will find it here alpha because it is only one, here more than one parameter it will be greater than alpha. Okay, we will continue. Therefore, we are increasing the probability of overall type 1 error when conducting a series of t-tests. So we increasing the probability overall, فبتزيد البروبابيلتي قاعدة شنو؟ قاعدة تزيد لما احنا نسوي سلسلة من التيتست, not only one test. Okay, so a recommendation for checking, okay, the utility of a first order multiple linear regression model. فاحنا قلنا اليوتيليتي هي شنو؟ اختبر أهمية الموديل. فشنو الريكومنديشن؟ اوكي, هم شنو قاعدين يوصوني بشنو؟ شنو هي الطريقة الأمثل إلى إني أتشيك فاعلية وأهمية هذا الموديل؟ يقول لي first conduct a test of overall adequately of the model using the F-test. So أول شيء عشان أختبر أهمية الموديل, okay, I will use F-test now. That is the test مثل ما قلنا الفرضية, all the parameters equal to 0. Then if the model is adequately, يعني if you reject H naught, then proceed to step 2. Otherwise you should fit another model. So what they said, first أول خطوة إني أروح أسوي الإف تيست, وهذه هي الفرضية حقتها. Okay, then لما يكون الموديل adequately, يعني الموديل good, يعني you will reject the H naught, then you will go to step 2. This will be step 1. But if you do not reject it, okay, if the model is not good, you should what? You should go and fit another model. يعني نغير الموديل بكبره. Okay, then conduct t-test. Okay, لما أشوف ال F-test, okay, صالح. Then go and test t-test on those parameters in which you are partially interested. فإذا أروح أسوي t-test على بعض شنو؟ على بعض الباراميترز اللي أنا أحس إني شنو؟ إني قاعد أقدر أختبر أستفيد منهم, يعني أحدد منهم بعض الانفورميشن. Okay, so you will make F-test, okay, first. Then إذا قبلت الفرضية أكتفي بشنو الحال. If you do not reject, okay, stop here. Then if you reject, go to t-test. إذا هذه شنو؟ إذا هذه الخطوات. أول شيء أسوي ال F-test. إذا ما رفضت الفرضية, okay, I do not reject it, I will stop. If I reject it, I will go and check for t-test. Okay. Yes, we can move to the textbook exercise. We have exercises. We will solve them quickly because you will see the solutions here at this. You will see the solutions for all the sheet here in this sheet. Chapter 4 solution. Okay. We will read the exercise. Because the coefficient of determination are square, okay, read carefully. Now you will read carefully now. R square, okay, so because of the coefficient of determination R square always increases when a new independent variable, okay, is added to the model. فإذا عندي مشكلة في الار سكوير. أول مشكلة إن هي تزيد لما أحط شنو independent variable. to the model. It is tempting to include many variables in a model to force R square to be near what? To be near 1. فإذا احنا لازم نشوف لها حل. However, doing so reduces the degrees of freedom variables. Okay, reduces the degree of freedom اللي هي DF variables for estimating sigma square. إذا شنو يقول لي هنا؟ يقول لي كل ما قلت كل ما قلت degree of freedom، كل ما قلت degree of freedom قلت قدرتي على شنو؟ قلت قدرتي على good estimation. Okay, then degree of freedom اللي هي شنو؟ اللي هي n minus the number of parameter. Okay, available for estimating sigma squared, which adversely affects our ability to make reliable inference. As an example, suppose you want to use the responses to survey consisting of 18 demographic, social and economic questions to model a college student's intelligence quotient. You fit the model. Okay, so this will be the model. So here you will have these 18. Okay, you will have them as x. Okay, this 18 you will have them as what? As x. And here you have the what? The model. And the degree of freedom will be n. N will be how much? Suppose you want to use the, they didn't notice here. Okay, وأكافي تكملة. Where y is IQ, so this will be y, and x are what? Are 18 independent variables. So they write for me that y, it will be the IQ, and the x will be 18 independent variables. Data for only 20 students, so n it's 20, so you will go and write 20 minus 19 equal equal 1. So why it is 19? Because they have 18 variables, but we need what? We need k, number of parameters. Sorry, we do not need k. We know the number of parameters اللي هم from beta 0 to beta 18. It will be 19. So it will be what? It will be 1. So it doesn't make sense. It does not make sense because غير منطقي ان الديجري فريدوم 1 والpopulation 20 وان البارامترز 19. So are used to fit the model and you obtain R square is 0.95. is 0.95. So شنو بنحصل؟ ان ال R squared it's 0.95. تقول لي ان الموديل very good because احنا قلنا ان ال R squared كل ما تكون قريبة من ال 1 it becomes good, very good. But here there is a problem. Okay, there is what? There is a problem. We will read the question and we will continue. Okay, then test, okay, test to see whether this impressive looking, okay, of R square is large enough for you to infer that this model is useful. اوكي فاذا يقول لي طالع الامبرسيف لوكينج اللي هي النظرة المبالغ فيها الى الار سكوير. اوكي المبالغ فيها الى الار سكوير. يقول لي تشيكي اذا هذه بتكون شنو، بتكون كافية حقش عشان تثبت ليش ان هذا الموديل useful means good. Okay, that at least one term in the model is important for predicting IQ. Use alpha equal 0.5. شنو قال لي الحين هو في السؤال؟ قال لي إن هو أصلا هو كتب الفرضية when you will see it. Test mean make test. We have if test and t test. And they write for me هني شنو at least one term in the model is important. اوكي الفرضية مكتوبة. احنا لو بنروح نكتب فرضية ال if test okay when you write the if test okay wait a minute yeah it will be here. You will write here H naught. It will be شنو? It will be at least one of شنو of the parameter which فيها does not equal to 0. Sorry, it is this one. It will be H1. Okay, this hypothesis in at least one of the parameter not equal to 0, it is written here. So you can find it. At least one term in the model is important. Is important mean what? Means not equal to 0. So they write for me in the exercise the alternative hypothesis. So I will write now the hypothesis for the exercise. Okay. So this will be just information for you. Now we start the solution. H naught you will write from beta 1 because except beta not اللي هي الانترسبت equal beta 18 it equal to شنو to 0. And now you will write H1 that said at least شنو 1 beta not equal to شنو to 0. طبعا beta I اللي هي ال I from 1 to 18. Okay, 1 to 18. Then, so very important to write the what? To write the hypothesis. After writing the hypothesis, you will calculate the F test. You will calculate the F test. Okay, the F test will be, you will find it here from the notes they gave it to us. They gave us this information to solve them. Okay, قالوا إلي هني شنو إن ال R square هي 1 minus SSE على SST. ال SST it will be that's it. But ال SSE ممكن تكون شنو؟ ممكن تكون SS. So we need the yellow to be clear. So they make ال SSE عبارة عن شنو؟ عبارة عن مو احنا قلنا SSE okay plus SSM equal SST. So they cross them and write this. Okay, so they write that it will be SSM over what? Over SST. Then when they write the F test, okay, what they did, ال F test هذا هو ال F test الفورمولا الحقيقية اللي محطوطة عندي في الشيت. but they cross them as what? As SSM over K. They make it what? They divide by SST. Okay, they divide by SST here and here. Okay, and they left with SSM and SSE. Okay, so this over اللي هي SSM SSM over SST, this equals شنو R square. So R square over K. Then N minus K minus 1, they left it here as the K, but they did something here. What they did, this E over SST, it becomes 1 minus شنو R square. ليش؟ لأنهم حلوها بتقابل مالت اللي هي coefficient of determination كانت تساوي شنو؟ اللي هي R squared 1 minus SSE over هي 1 minus SSE over SST. فلو قلبتها بتصير لي this. Okay, to become this. Okay, so they give me this formula for شنو for الF test, because I only have the R squared, so I need to use it. So لما أقول إن الإف تيست بتكون هني شنو؟ بتكون 0.95 اللي هي الR squared over degree of freedom اللي هي الK كم؟ الK 18 because we have 18 independent variables over 1 minus 0.95 over شنو degree of freedom اللي هو 1 اللي هو N minus K minus 1. This will be equal 1.055. Okay, this will be equal 1.55. Okay, then yeah, then we have very large critical values, larger than شنو. If you go and try to find the critical value, it will be شنو. We have very large critical value. Okay, larger than 240.5. So you can write that the F test less than a critical value, because the critical value is very large. So what you will write the answer? The answer will be we cannot reject H not, because we reject if what? If the critical value is less. We write this information before. Can't find it now. Okay, so if the F test is less than the critical value, we cannot reject. So the model is not useful. As we said, we will did the F test. If we cannot reject, we will stop what? We will stop the solution here. But if we reject, we will complete to the T test. But until now, we will stop because the model is not good. Okay, we will go and check the. So we solved what? We solved A. Then B. Calculate R squared adjusted and interpret it as a value. الحين احنا ال R squared adjusted بنشوف الفورمولا حقها. ال R squared adjusted هي 1 minus this SSE over SST. Okay, we can start from here. Okay, then هذه احنا غيرناها بشنو؟ ب 1 minus R squared علشان نقدر نعوض, because we don't have this values. So you will go and شنو substitute. Then you will write here B, okay, sorry, B, it will be R square adjusted. It will be equal 1 minus 20 n minus 1 على 20 اللي هي n minus اللي هو parameters, the number of parameters, okay, multiplied with 1 minus R square here 0.95. You will calculate them at the calculator. You will find what? You will find it is equal 0.05. That's mean it equal 5% only. So now you find the value. Go and write the interpretation. You write about, as we learned at the sheet, you will find it at the sheet, this information. About, okay, 5% of the total variation in predicting the IQ. Why we write IQ here? Because it is Y in this exercise, okay? IQ can be explained by using the independent variables in the multiple linear regression model. Don't miss to write after, because we are writing interpretation about R square adjusted, so you should write after adjusting for the sample size and the number parameters. Okay, this will be what? This will be the interpretation and the value of our adjusted square. Okay, so this will be the solution. Okay, so we finished from this exercise. Okay, we will come to the next exercise. This exercise, we will read it now. The Journal of Quantitative Criminology published a paper on the determinants of area property, crime levels in the United Kingdom, several multiple regression models. So it will be, you know, multiple regression model for property crime. Okay, prevalence Y. So this will be اللي هي property crime prevalence to be Y, measured as a percentage of residual residents in a geographical area who were victims of at least one property crime were examined the results for one of the models based on a sample of. So the sample will be what? N equal 330. Responses collected for the British Crime Survey are shown in the next table. Okay, so they give me the what? The variables اللي هما independent variables here. Okay, they give me the values of the betas and the values of شنو. الحين هم عطوني الاستيمت، هذه البيتاز معناتها الاستيمت and here the t-test. طبعا ما ننسى ان التي تيست هو شنو، هو الاستيمت على الستاندرد ايرور، الاستيمت على الستاندرد or maybe we can use it. Okay, so here they give me output. This will be, this is output. Okay, this output is not for R, but they give me the same information, estimate and t-test. They can give me any output, okay, for any program. Okay, then we will continue. So I can find the here, from here they give me, from this graph or this paragraph, sorry, they give me شنو, they give me n. You can find n here. Okay, they give me the dependent, you can find it here. Okay, they give me the independent, you can find them, all the variables here in this graph, sorry, in this output. Okay, then we will move on. We have three questions here, A, B and C. Okay, A, B and C. We will check for A. Test the hypothesis that the density اللي هي x1 of a region is positively linearly related to crime prevalent y, holding the other independent variables constant. Okay, so they need from me, okay, to make test حق ال xy ال x1 will y only, the others will be what, will be fixed. So they need for one variable, so it will be شنو, t test of course. Okay, t test of course. So we will solve then the exercise here. You can check this here. I'll write it. Okay, so the h naught will be, here will be A, h naught will be beta 1 because they need for x1 it will be x to 0, while h1 for beta 1 it will be not equal to 0. So you will use t test, it is already provided at the, you can see here it is already provided here. This is the beta, so we do not need the beta, we need the t test. Okay, you can find it here, 3.88. So I will use the data طبعا from the output اللي هي اللي هي 3.88. Okay, then you will find the critical value from شنو, from t table اللي هي بتكون t إلى ألفا تساوي 0.05. T we will be, yeah, if they didn't give me the alpha in the exercise, you will use alpha equals 0.05. If it doesn't appear in the exercise, you will find it like this. Okay, then I will check something here. This hypothesis that the density of region is positively linearly related. Okay, they give me here, don't make this mistake, they give me that it is positively, that means it is greater than 0. Okay, حددوا إلي إن الفرضية اللي يبونها it will be here, don't make this mistake, it will be greater than شنو than 0. Okay, it is nice. Here we will complete. So that's why they use the alpha as it is. Why? Because here it is only one tail. If they use it does not equal to 0, they will use what? Over 2. Alpha over 2. But they use the alpha because here it will be one tail. So with the degree of freedom, okay, the degree of freedom will be equal to 313 اللي هي 313 اللي هي ال n minus 19 اللي هي شنو ال number of parameters. Why they make it 19? Because it's what? It is 18 variables. Okay, so 18 plus ال 1 اللي هي ال intercept فالparameters شنو 19. So you will find it here 19 to be equal شنو. So the value will be the value of the t, okay, because this will be very large. Okay, so you can find it from you can't find it from the tables because the degree of freedom will be large. So maybe you can find it from the infinite if it is possible. I will check. It will be 1.6, yeah, 6.5, 6.45, 4.5. Yeah, it will be a little change, but it will be here because this will be large. Okay, so this will be large. That means it is infinite. With the alpha 0.05, you will go for the table. Okay, table, statistical table. This will be the t table. Yeah, it will be okay from 0.05 to infinity. It will be this 1.645. Or if you calculate it by the table, it will be 1.645. If you calculate it by the software here, they gave it to us by the software to be 1.65. Different change, يعني small change. Okay, then you will need to be the t test statistic. Okay, يعني القيمة مالت مو الجدول، القيمة مالت الفورمولا التي test it will be greater than critical value. Critical value it's 1.65, but the t-test we find it up, it is 3.88. So what will happen if the t-test greater than the critical? You will write this: we must reject the null hypothesis. Why? To indicate that the density of a region is positively linearly related to crime prevalence, holding the other independent variables constant. All this you can find it at the question itself, but this you should write it. You must reject. Why? Because what? Because the t-test is greater than the critical value, so we know that we must reject. Okay, but the rest you can find it at the exercise to indicate that the density of a region, you can find it here. alcohol. Yeah, here. To indicate that if a region is positively linear related to crime prevalent, holding the other independent variable constants. Okay. So, yes, this is the answer for A. The answer for B, okay, B شنو يقول B؟ B the model yielded R square. فإذا الموديل يقول لي إن عنده R square. هذه ال R square قيمتها 0.411. Use the information to conduct a test of the global utility. إذا الجلوبال نعرف إنه هو شنو؟ F test of the model use alpha. So here they indicate for me the alpha. But if they do not write it, you will use 0.05. Okay? So, yes, this will be the question that you will use what? R square to test F test. So you will need the formula that it is here. This one. Okay? So we will go and solve it here. Yeah. It will be شنو F high B. It will be F test. Okay. So you can write the hypothesis H naught. It will be beta 1 equal إلى beta 18 equal to شنو to 0. H1 اللي هو at least one of the parameters does not equal to 0. Okay, so F test will be equal R squared over K over 1 minus R squared Vn minus K minus 1. This from where we find it from the previous exercise. شلون حولنا من ال R squared إلى ال F test. Now you will just substitute in this formula. Okay, it will be 0.411. It's the value of R squared over ال K اللي هو number of independent variables. It will be 18. 1 minus R square 411 into n minus k minus 1. It will be شنو 313 اللي هي ال n minus ال k minus 1. It will be minus 19. Why it will be minus 19? Because ال k k 18 minus 1 هني minus وهني minus will be شنو minus 19. Okay, the value will be you can find it here. You can write it here. اللي هو ال F test بيساوي 11.397. Okay, then you will go and find the critical value from statistical table. How you will find it? They told me that F will be for 0.05 in alpha. Choose the table for 0.05, then find the degree of freedom. Degree of freedom الأولى will be 18 because it's just the K. هني في البسط هي كم كتبناها 18 وفي المقام كم صارت المقام 294. Okay, so you can go for the tables here. You will choose the F 0.05 here. Yes, you will choose the degree freedom الأولى الأولى you will choose it as شنو as 18. Okay, but here you do not have 18. You do not have 18. And the degree of freedom الثانية you can choose it as 9. But here also you do not have the 18. So you will use the software. I will write the code for you after a while. Okay, so from the output you find this f for 005, it will be 1.639. okay, and if the test is greater than the critical, we must reject. Or if you I will complete and then I will write something else. Then you must reject. We must reject the null hypothesis to indicate that there is at least one of the independent variables contributes in predicting the crime prevalence. Okay, this will be the answer for what? For B. طبعا هذه لما احنا نكتب this will be B, this will be A. Okay, when you write this, okay, you can change it with something else اللي احنا تعودنا نسوي. شلون؟ you can write it حق طبعا هني A. I will write it for A. You can write just like this. You have this, okay, but في ال A كانت شنو؟ كانت بس positive عدل ولا؟ so you will remove this. okay, فبصير هني reject. انزين الكريتيكال فاليو كان 1.65 عدل ولا؟ التست كان 3.88. so the test will be here اللي هو 3.88 بيكون في منطقة الريجكشن هني. so you will reject. It is easier, I think. For B, okay, it will be F, it will be like this, F. Okay, so here will be the F value اللي هي 1.639. زين. Here will be what? Will be the reject. And the value will be the value حق التست 11. Will 11 here. Okay, so here, so we will what? We will reject. So you can use the method you like. يا أما نكتب كذي in like this, if test greater than the critical, or the T test greater than, okay, or you can use this method. I prefer this. It's nice and easy. And if you need to, for A, if you need to calculate the T value from R, you need to write Q T 1 minus 0.05 comma 313 minus 19 and close the bracket, and this will be the answer. Okay, بيطلع لي. And for B, okay, you write QF 1 minus 0.05 comma 18 with 294, close it, and this will give you the answer. This will be our code for the values of the critical values. Okay, return back to the sheet, to be this exercise. Okay, this exercise completed. No, it's still, we left with C. Do you advise conducting t-test on each of 18 independent variables in the model to determine which variables are important predictors of crime prevalence? Explain. يقول لي هل تنصحين ان احنا نستخدم التي تيست حق هذين ال 18 independent variables in the test علشان نحدد اي هو مهم اي هو لا؟ explain. احنا قلنا شنو نسوي؟ احنا قلنا الاف تيست. if we reject الاف تيست then go to t test. انزين احنا سوينا اف تيست، هل سوينا له reject؟ yes we rejected. so اسوي تي تيست لو ما اسوي؟ yes I must do. فانصحهم يسوون تي تيست. اوكي، انصحهم يسوون تي تيست. so we will write the answer. yeah, the answer will be yes, do the t-test. Yes, but why? To specify which independent variables contribute significantly in predicting the crime prevalence. Okay, that's it forward for C. This is the value. Yes, do the t-test. Do it. Okay, why? To specify which independent variables is important. This is the meaning. Okay, so this is the end of this exercise. Okay, well, it will be continued in the next video. Okay, that's it for this video. Here we will stop. Thank you.